Analysts say the near-term direction of the equities market will be determined by third quarter earnings results. Hence, investors should invest fundamentally in fundamentally sound stocks. Muktar Mohammed, analyst at Assar Investment, joins me now for more market updates as more financial releases come through. Muktar, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you for joining us. Muktar, if you can hear me. All right, let's get right to it. Yes, let's get right to it. We've seen a number of names report their earnings. Unilever, for one, has reported a 27.3 billion revenue in its 9 months earnings ended September 30th. But what names are you looking forward to?
Well, I must commend the Liver Brother result. It came in as a shock when you look at consumer recession, inflationary pressure, exchange rate volatility from the side of loss to that of profit. It's really encouraging. And I think investors are beginning to look at that stocks going forward. Where am I looking forward to this quarter? Definitely, we look at liquidity, we look at what's going to happen towards the end of the year. We are going to the festivity period. So it depends on what your investment goals are. If you are somebody that's looking for investment goal in area of dividend payment, in area of capital appreciation, then you look no further than the banking stocks because we expect their third quarter result to be good, even if we don't expect it to be as good as the second quarter result. And they have already shown in terms of dividend payment that there could be a hike in terms of dividend payment. Then also, you also look at the brewery sector. We are going through the festivity period, so there will be a lot of activities in that space. And also, you want to also look at the communication sector. So we're going to this festivity period. There will be a lot of activities on that space. So definitely, the result you look towards to depends on what your investment strategy are and what you are planning to achieve.
Now, it's been quite an eventful year for listed companies. And of course, the story is different in terms of how the economy has impacted companies from one sector to another. We know that the banks, of course, have done very well. We saw that the FX revaluation for the consumer numbers, for the consumer guys, has been rough, of course, on the back or in the context of higher inflation. For the oil market, for the oil marketing guys, we also know what the story is. So from sector to sector. But one thing I suppose is true for all, even the banks, is that the operating environment has been quite challenging, even with the reforms that we saw coming through. So, but for the numbers, generally, what would be that one common denominator for companies across sectors in terms of the story that the numbers would tell regarding the economy?
I think, Esther, when you look at the numbers regarding the economy, sometimes it doesn't really add up. And you could look at Unilever now, like I said, consumer index per section is very low. But yeah, look at the kind of result they are turning in. So definitely sometimes you look beyond the economy and then you look at the product and what the product is all about, especially to the economy. So I think with that, then you can begin to say those numbers are good. What am I looking towards in the future? I think I'm still looking towards the banking stock, like I keep saying. The environment has been challenging for them, like you rightly pointed out, but it seems to be a lot of resilience in there. So what am I looking for as an investor? I'll keep looking for the earning per share, and that's what is included to me, the dividend payout, and then how the incoming policy of these administrations would definitely help some of these companies grow in the near term and in the future. Just like you say, those reforms are going to come, and they may just be the game changers for some of these companies.
Now, I know that a number of names have outperformed this year, even outperforming the index. And I want us to talk outside of the banks, so we don't keep going over. We know what the story and why the banks are where they are today in terms of advancing in value, etc. But what would you say? I mean, for the other winners, the top winners so far this year to date, what would you attribute their success to? It looks like we're having some.
Can you come again, Esther? I didn't get that question.
All right, I was talking about the top winners so far this year to date. stocks that have outperformed, especially the stocks that have outperformed the broader index. What you would attribute their success to? Perhaps it could be the fundamentals, could be the sectors they play in, etc.
I think most of them are mostly policies. If you look at the petroleum sector, immediately the removal of subsidy, you saw a movement in those price of those equities, and the movement has been very huge, and that's for the petroleum sector. Also, you also look at the consumer space. I think in that sector, you see a lot of movement, especially in the food sector, like our food, and also Dangote sugar and the national salt, that's NASCOM, due to the coming together of what Dangote said, there will be a coming together of both all its company to become like what we will now say is Dangote food, just like what you get in Boa food. I think those have been attributed. Then you look at Transcorp also, you could see their investment in power also is yielding a positive result. See that stocks also have also moved up. Then again, in terms of fundamentals, I think you also will say some of those companies also have good fundamentals because they've been able to pay
Right.
dividend year in, year out.
Muktar, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for talking to us today. Appreciate your time on the show. As always, Muktar Mohammed, analyst at Assar Investment, taking